you know that God has been good to you? How many of you wanted to say thank you for all that he's done for you? Come on, everybody. Come on, put your hands together like this. Come on. I just want to thank you for your mercy. Thank you. Thank you for your grace. Lord, I just want to thank you. Come on, if you love it. Mercy. Thank you. Thank you for your grace. Listen, if it had not been for the Lord on my side, where would I be? Oh, where would I be? I'd be like a ship without a sail. Oh, where would I be? Where would I be? Lord, I just want to thank you for your mercy. Thank you for your grace. Lord, I just want to thank you for your mercy. Thank you, Dedrick, I see you, for your grace. Come on, everybody. If it had not been for the Lord on my side, where would I be? I'd be like a ship without a sail. Where would I be? Where would I be? Your love, it came and it rescued me. It was your grace and your mercy. Your love, it came and cared for me. It was your grace and your mercy. Your love came to deliver me. Oh, grace and your mercy. Your love provided for me. Lord, I just want to thank, come on, for your mercy. Thank you. Come on, y'all like this for your grace. Lord, I just want to thank you for your mercy. Thank you. Everybody say thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your grace. Everybody say thank you for keeping me, for loving me. I say thanks for protecting me, for providing for me, for caring for me. I say thanks. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. I say thanks. Oh, when I think about how you gave your life for me on Calvary, I say thanks. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Oh, thank you, Lord. Oh, thank you, Jesus, for your grace. Oh, I should have been dead in my grave, but you made death be hell. I should have been lost in my sins. Come on, but you quickened my heart and brought me out. Oh, thank you, Lord. Woo, thank you, Lord. Oh, thank you, Lord, for your grace.
So everybody, today we've got the one and only Tonya Lewis Taylor here with a beautiful smile, coming all the way through from New York. And today we're going to be talking about some serious stuff here. And Tonya is with Entertainers for Education Alliance, I Will Graduate Youth Development Program, and Gun Violence Destroys Families Initiative. And we're going to be showing this PSA too. That's an incredible PSA with the family of the gentleman that we're going to be talking about. Tonya, tell us about you and how you got started on this journey.
Well, I am a former music industry
executive. I'm also a artist. I'm also a
Mhm.
musician. I worked at Rockefeller Records for many years and in the music entertainment industry. And during my tenure year there, I always, I think, was drawn towards social initiatives. And so when I left there, I started a PR firm and I handled a lot of A-list celebrities. And I would ask a lot of those celebrities if they would come and do school visits with us when they were in town. And many of them did, and we have a whole host of top A-list celebrities who have graced our presence. Just recently, we had Damon John from Shark Tank, Omar Epps. We just had Lala Anthony right before Christmas, and Joseph Sikora from Power. He plays Tommy on Power. So we this work started many years ago. Just to kind of fast forward, we developed a youth development program working with different schools to really encourage young people about the importance of staying in school. And this organization is 20 years. I've been doing this for 20 years, so I'm already telling you my age. But we are
You
just
look
fortunate
amazing.
to have a program that allows us to mentor young people, to help them to become who they were destined to become, to help them with college and career programs, mentoring programs, arts and education programs, sports programs, to keep them involved in the community. So our organization, we're doing it all to help our young people succeed.
Wonderful. Um, how long have you been involved in this particular program that you're doing right now?
So, just to give you a little background, our organization, we do a whole host of different programs. So,
Mhm.
pre COVID, we were serving about 15,000 students per week in 48 schools in New York City, in addition to our program being citywide because we have the poster campaign and the I Will Graduate program. So, this is a pretty large scale program. And the gun violence initiative just really was birthed out of my frustration. I was sitting in the house over the summer, and another news program came on about another teen getting shot a couple of blocks from where I live. I live in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, and a few blocks down, another kid got shot. And I said, enough. And I called the borough president at the time, and I asked him, I said, listen, what can I do? I said, because this is ridiculous. We need to do something for these children. And he said, listen, come up with something, whatever you can do. We want to help. We want you to be involved. And so we came up with this initiative. And I asked our students from our programs, I said, who would be the best voice to kind of show the devastation that gun violence causes when someone doesn't think before they shoot? And the students said, Pop Smoke, because he died prematurely at the age of 20. He basically is a icon right now because of his death. And so we reached out to his family, and they graciously did the PSA. And we're using this PSA to really promote systemic change in our communities. This is not just a PSA we wanted to put out there for a notoriety. We wanted to put out the PSA because the students are using this to get the attention of the elected officials and the people in power so that they can show them we have a program that we've developed. And if you work with our organization, we can stop the gun violence in our communities.
Wonderful. For those who are looking on today, we're talking about a very, very famous rapper in New York. Whether you, even if you didn't know him, he was on the rise. This is someone you would have known. This is Pop Smoke. His name is Bashir Baraka Jackson. Pop Smoke was very, very popular and about to just make his popularity around the world. Tonya, when you think about all of these things that are going on with gun violence in the community, why, how do you think our kids are getting these guns so easily?
Well, I have to be politically correct because I can really take this deep in reference to the
Because it
founding of
really,
our
because
country
it
and
really is
how,
deep. It's around the country and
oh,
in our neighborhoods, our babies all over the nation are have access to guns better
but
moving
not
on
access
different.
to books and not access
Not
to books.
access to books, education, things in the
Absolutely.
community that could better them, teach them how to barber, be construction workers, and so
Absolutely.
forth. But they can get a gun just like that.
Just like that. Well, we know that 400 years of systemic racism is part of the reason why it's easier to get a gun in our community than it is to get a college education. So we understand those factors, and we those factors are huge for the African American community, because really what this PSA and what this program is talking about is the violence in our community, black on black violence in our community. And I understand about all of the other stuff that's going on, and we can deal with that, but we
We need
still
to
have
deal
to
with the
deal with
root.
home first, right? And that's one of the things that we don't do. And that's and so here's what I say. um when you seeing young people who don't have regard for another person's life, there is something that is wrong. There's a disconnect. And that disconnect comes from many factors. One, family structure. Where's mama? Where's daddy? Daddy in jail. Where's mama? Okay, what's happening in the family structure? It's not just family, but it's also in the community. It's what are the resources in the community for our young people to do anything? Where are the jobs for them? Where are the mentoring programs? Where are the recreation centers? So there's a huge ton of factors that is contributing to the reason why we have gun violence in our community. But the goal for what we're doing is our young people want to be agents of change. They're saying enough. We have the power. We have the power to take up this mantle and make a difference in our communities. And so that's why our program, they're going to be reaching out to their local officials. They'll be reaching out to the local police department, developing programs so that it could be more community policing. So it's so many factors and layers as to why we have gun violence in our communities. But one of the things that I will say is that we understand that there are a lot of different factors that of why the guns come into our community. But we as a people, we as a community have to be really strong and stand up against it and do the things that we can do to prevent our communities from being ravished by this.
How do we re educate our community even on guns? Because we've got too many guns that are killing us in our community. And it's not to promote killing anyone else, but we need those guns to protect our wives, our sisters, our children, our communities, our blocks. How do we recondition our community, not just the kids, because we've also got gangs, who are in fight, on their own block, because at this point, I was talking with someone who's a gun. This is a person who's black. They're gun owner. They actually teach people at ranges. They said that the other day they went into the store to purchase a gun, and there was about 20 something people in there purchasing guns. And I asked the obvious question: how many of them were black? He said about half of them were black. And I said, how many were women? He said about five. And I said, that's good because our women are feeling like now more than ever they have to protect themselves.
Yes.
And we need to protect our women and our children in our community as black men. So I'm not throwing all of this on you. This may be an ongoing subject that we have to tackle, but how do we
Yes.
recondition? Because the guns need to be there. They just need to be reappropriated in some other way to protect us, not to kill us.
I mean, you said it. I mean, whew, that I mean, what you said is so big,
It's
right?
big,
So
isn't it?
to
Yeah,
dissect it, there is an argument for responsible gun owners, gun usage. There's the argument, and by right, we should be able to bear arms. That's one of the amendments in the
absolutely. Yeah.
Constitution, right?
Mhm.
So I don't have a problem. But what we're talking about is not responsible gun users. We're talking about kids who are getting guns and young people who are getting guns and who are not responsible, who are not trained, and who are using guns in retaliation for negative behaviors against each other. And so when I was growing up, we grew up in a neighborhood where if you had a problem, we fought, right? So I
Mhm.
grew up in East Flatbush, Brooklyn,
Mhm.
a neighborhood called the 90s. And it
Mhm.
was right on the border of Brownsville. So I had to walk through Brownsville to get to the train station to go anywhere, right? So right there. And if there was a problem, you fought, right?
Mhm.
And the most somebody would pull out a knife, right? But now the kids, they just want to end you. They don't even want you to even be alive. There's
Mhm.
a problem. There's something wrong when you feel that your only option is death for the other person. And so the mediation programs that we want to see in our communities, these are the type of programs where young people need to come and be able to talk about what's going on with them, talk about how to solve problems, talk about how to get, stop violence, violent thoughts from
Mhm.
being in their mind, and teach them discipline. And that's the reason why we need more programs in the community. We need more resources. We as a community, we spend more money outside of community than in our community. And by
Mhm.
doing that, what happens is that we actually don't own anything. We don't have anything in our community that is for us. Now, I live in Bed-Stuy. Bed-Stuy, I moved here about 10 years ago, and Bed-Stuy is the place to be. Border Brownstone, it's the place to be. Couple of blocks down, there
Mhm.
are pockets of neighborhoods that are so underserved, that don't have the uh, the resources that they need for young people to be successful. So what else are they supposed to do? They're going to find other ways to be inventive, and that's one thing about young people in underserved communities. That's how hip hop was born. Kids not having anything to do, finding a way to be innovative, right? And then that
Mhm.
innovation turned into what we know now as hip hop, right? So we know that our kids can do anything, they can be anything. But if negativity is where they're headed, they're going to always find what mama calls trouble. If you going down there, you looking for trouble, you gonna get it, right?
Mhm.
So we don't want our kids to have to go down that road. So we want to put centers in our communities the same way other races. A couple of blocks from me, Williamsburg, and in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, it's primarily Jewish community. They have everything. Everything. They never go out of their community because everything is in their community. They own everything. Few blocks over, we don't own nothing. That's a problem. And that's the reason why our young people don't feel like they have the support that they need to be successful. And that's what we're doing with this program. It is an 8-week program. It's funded through the mayor's office, the Young Men's Initiative through the mayor's office in New York City. And we're going to utilize this program to stir up our city, to say, hey, we need money in our communities and we need to do it. And to stir up our people and say, hey, we have to invest in our youth the same way other races do.
Very, very good. I want to talk about a couple of bullets that we had that I thought were awesome coming from you guys. One of the solutions to combat gun violence in New York that you guys are doing: discourage the carrying and use of illegal guns by New York City youth, interrupting the cycle of what is it, retaliatory violence.
Mm-hmm.
Help provide conflict resolution strategies youth can use. Help provide support to families and spotlight the devastating effects of gun violence on families. These are a few things. Tell me some of the other things that you guys are doing in the program. I'm proud of you for even taking the plot. You could be doing anything. You could be in a booth somewhere singing, I'm sure, or writing, or on your path to what you were doing. But you've stopped to do this for the community. Tell us some more things about what you guys are doing.
Oh, wow. It's so much. So I will graduate is really, I've been a very
I love
fortunate,
that.
and I've been very blessed. And, early on, I made really good decisions, and it really set me up for the rest of my life. And so when I see, sometimes I guess God will allow whatever problem you see to become a mission for you.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was just something that I just felt devastated by. And I wanted our agency to get involved and to do something. But our main concern right now is the social emotional wellness of these babies, of these kids. I am very concerned. This pandemic has brought out a side of our young people that
Mhm.
is really very scary. They're on computers all day. They're on games. I've even seen it in my own children. My son, who is 13, he will be 13. He's 12. At one point, you turn around and you're like, how long has he been on that machine? And then you see some aggression coming out. So we had to, dial it back on him. But just losing all of the interaction with their peers and the normalcies of life. In addition to being in underserved communities that
Mhm.
already don't have resources, can you imagine what is happening to the minds of these young people? So, first and foremost on our agenda is social emotional wellness for our kids, doing programs that's going to help them rise above their circumstances, because it's really about mental health. Is the health and wellness of these young people. We also received a second grant. So uh, just to kind of say, we lost 90% of our funding back in April of
Mhm.
last year with the coronavirus, when
Mhm.
the governor snatched the 200 million from all of the
Mhm.
schools and stuff. So that money was gone, and I had my fall down and cry moment.
Mhm.
And then what I saw though on the other end was an opportunity for us when some of the money did come down the pipe to write for grants. So we've been fortunate to write for $500,000 in grants already,
Mhm.
just between from April till now. And so we're very fortunate that the money is starting to come. So
Mhm.
I say all of that to say that, we have a program that is going to be sponsored through the city, that is the COVID relief program. And we're going to be offering social emotional wellness to families and to our young people so that they can get mentally fit, so that they can catch up educationally,
Mhm.
academically. So that's really where we're headed. That's on top priority on our agenda.
Awesome. The PSA premiered January 8th, 2021. Uh, let's talk about this PSA.
Audrey Jackson.
I'm Greg Jackson.
On February 19th at 4 a.m., a gun was used to take my son from me. You know him as Pop Smoke. We call him Shar. Because of gun violence, I'll never see my son run up the front of our steps, taking them two at a time. He won't ever take my hands again and dance with me. He won't come into my room and muscle pose in the mirror. Gun violence destroys families. It must stop.
Were you there the day that they filmed that?
Oh yes, my organization, we filmed it. Our film the team came out. They
Mhm.
filmed the PSA. I met the family. I met the mom for the first time. I met the dad for the first time. It was very emotional.
Mhm. I was
Uh,
going to ask you, how did that spiritually impact you? Because you can't do that kind of work and not be impacted by it. What was the impact for you?
well, being a woman of faith, first and foremost, I understand, that there is a level of comfort that you have to offer people who are in bereavement. So I came to the video shoot understanding that. I purposely wore a certain T-shirt. With an encouraging saying on it. There were things that I did purposely because I understood that this was probably going to be very difficult for the family, and but it turned out to be amazing. I mean, they came in, did what they had to do, and it was just a very spiritual uh, being there because we filmed it. Our team located a mural of Pop Smoke, and they wanted to film in front of the mural,
Mhm.
and it was just the perfect sunny day. And if you see the PSA, how the sun is shining down, it's just so magical, so beautiful. It's heartbreaking. It's everything all in one. But I believe that it's going to move young people when they see that when you shoot someone, look at all of the devastation you leave behind. That 1 minute when you couldn't practice what we call self-control, what we call in the Bible temperance. That one moment when you could not practice temperance, look at what you caused. Your life is ruined, their lives are ruined forever. Everything has changed. And so, what we want our young people to do is think it's not that serious where you got to end someone's life. There are other ways we can do it. You want to fight? Let's go get in a boxing ring and let's box it out or something, but we don't have to kill each other.
Um, Miss Jackson looks very strong in that video. How was she throughout the video? She looks like she's a beautiful woman, but I could tell her strength as she was just saying things about her son, the things that she would not be able to do anymore. He wouldn't be able to come into the bedroom and rub her feet or do the muscle, the muscle flex.
Yes.
Small things that a mom want to see her son do. She'll never be able to see these things again.
Yeah, she is an amazing woman. What I know about her, she definitely has strength, possess a level of strength. You could see it.
Mm-hmm.
And in the film, during the filming, there were moments where you could see she needed a moment, and she was able to regroup and just keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
And so you definitely know that there's a resiliency, but that's what our women, Black women, have had to do all of our lives. We've had
Mm-hmm.
to suck it up, and she is the face of countless mothers who have lost their children to gun violence. And so we want to always make sure that we spotlight people like her so that we put a face with it. Because once you shot the boy and you deaded him, as the kids would say, then now what happens?
Mm-hmm.
Now what
Yeah.
happens? You gotta live with that for the rest of
Yeah,
your life.
for the rest of your life. And
Yeah.
the sad part is a lot of those kids, I think, make a huge mistake and then they get to jail. And it's like a ride at the fair. Once you go up, you can't get off. You're gonna have to take the ride. You know?
Absolutely.
So it is at all of your social media at I Will Graduate. I think that's a great title for anything. I Will Graduate. So is there a hashtag for that also? Hashtag I
Yes,
Will
it's
Graduate?
hashtag I will graduate and hashtag gun violence destroys lives.
We want everyone to hashtag that. Go to their social media. Your website. What is your website?
It is I will graduate program. I will graduate. If you put in I will graduate program or Entertainers for Education Alliance, it'll go straight there.
Okay.
.com.org. Everything. It
And I was going to say, how can people get involved? How can they donate?
Yes, sign up on our website for our to be notified. We do email blasts. We have our newsletters that go out, and we keep our community informed of what we're doing so that we can all work together. And to get involved, if you're in the New York area, you definitely right now because pandemic, but donating is the best way. Make a financial donation to the organization, large or small. Everything helps. We do this for our culture. We do it for our children. We have to. Who else is going to do it if we don't do it? And so
Absolutely.
I've done it. My husband and myself, we've done it out of our pockets for years,
Mhm.
and we funded this whole organization out of our pockets. And so whatever somebody can do is always going to be a blessing and it's going to help. It's going to fall on good ground and go to the programs and to the youth that really need it.
Awesome. It was such a blessing and a great thing to have you on the show tonight to talk about this incredible platform that you guys are working with, but also to help the community because we need help.
We
We
need
definitely
help
need
and
help.
we can do it.
Yeah, we can
We can
do
do
it.
it.
We just got to get out there and really, like you say, we're dealing
We
with
got
the
to come
root
together.
and deal with the root. It's us. It's us. We have to
It's up.
figure it out.
That's right.
It's us.
What is that church song? It's me, oh Lord. It's
You're
me,
right,
oh
right,
Lord.
right.
Standing in the. It's us. We
Yeah,
gotta fix us,
yeah.
and nobody can fix us but us.
Thank you for joining us today. I sure appreciate you. We'll do a part two. Next,
Yes, I would
yeah.
love to.
Yes. Everybody, thank you for watching us today on the Mike Lee Show with the one and only Tonya Lewis right here with us today. Thank you for joining us, baby. We appreciate you. Miss
Thank you so
Tonya
much.
Lewis Taylor, thank you for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you.